If you had to give an advantage, Mike McDonald, first Super Bowl, Mike Vrabel, first Super Bowl as the head coach. Who do you give the tail of the tape advantage to?
In the tail of the mics, I'm going advantage Mike McDonald.
Okay.
I saw all I needed to see in the NFC Championship game when it was Seahawks defense, Rams offense, in the red zone, mano-a-mano, when you're playing football in a phone booth between one of the most respected offensive minds in all of football, and then Mike McDonald, who is quickly becoming one of the most well-respected defensive minds in football. Who won that battle in that moment and obviously in the entirety of that game? It was Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald, as a defensive genius, beat out Sean McVay, the offensive genius. Mike McDonald is the Sean McVay of the defensive side of the ball. And I keep hearing, well, Mike Vrabel has experience. He's been here before. Mike Vrabel was a player when he played here before, so sure, maybe he has experience as a player. Maybe the jitters aren't going to be as high. Maybe the butterflies aren't going to be in his stomach, maybe as much as a guy who has never been there before as a player or as a coach. But Mike Vrabel's never coached in a Super Bowl either, so I don't think that there's an overwhelming experience advantage on the other side. I just have so much respect for Mike McDonald and what he's been able to do with that defense.
Look, I agree with everything you just said. And, Mike McDonald, the second most famous Mike McDonald, still advantage Doobie brother. Incredible head coach. I was originally on your side. And then yesterday on Inside Coverage, C-Rob sort of planted a seed I couldn't get out of my mind. Charles Robinson on Inside Coverage kept talking about when he talked to Patrick Mahomes about the Vrabel defenses he faced in Tennessee. Mahomes kept stressing, I just hate playing Vrabel's defense. It's so varied and there's so much. And I sat there and I thought, man, why am I giving the advantage to a coach that just doesn't have even that level of proof of concept yet to that same level over Vrabel, other than the fact that I believe Seattle's better, right? And that Seattle defense has been so good. I'm going to give Vrabel the teeniest edge in this one. It comes down to the wire for me. Also, by the way, I think both of these head coaches have done it in such different ways. It's just funny to me because Vrabel is just your guy's guy that players love being around, and he's got this energy, and he's turned this thing around. McDonald is not that sort of rah-rah, yell up and down sort of guy on the sideline. So it's crazy to me, and a reminder as we see 10 teams with new head coaches, there's no one method that is the right method when it comes to a head coach. So I love this matchup. What about quarterback? We've got Drake May, who finished second in the MVP voting last night. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. Versus Sam Darnold, who obviously is the reclamation of Sam Darnold. Who do you give the edge to?
Edge Sam Darnold, quarterback advantage in Seattle. The NFL is a what have you done for me lately league. And what Drake May has done lately is played his worst football of the entire season. What Drake May has done lately is throw for 84 yards against the Broncos in the AFC Championship game. I know there was weather. I hear you. I understand it. But what Sam Darnold did in the NFC Championship game was outduel the league MVP. I mean, the Rams didn't do anything to shoot themselves in the foot, at least offensively. Matthew Stafford didn't do anything to shoot himself in the foot in that game. It was just Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford, both with great games, clean games, and Sam Darnold outdueled Matthew Stafford. So would I say overall, who would I want to invest in long-term into my franchise? I would probably defer to Drake May, but for right now in this game, based on how both of these quarterbacks have been playing, advantage Sam Darnold.
I keep falling in love with the concept of Drake May's legs making a difference, and I think that there is opportunity there, but to your point, I'm going to have a lot of crow to eat if Sam Darnold goes out in the Super Bowl and throws 4 picks. Like, I'm just being honest. At this point, I've gone fully in. Like, this dysfunctional relationship is back. I love her. I trust her. I think it's all going to be perfect. We're back to normal. Everybody's going to be happy. We'll see how that plays out, right? Like, I feel like on Sunday, either I am going to be the champion with the megaphone up in the box saying, see, I told you Sam Darnold is fully reborn into this new version of Sam Darnold, or I'm just going to get off social media because I've said so much at this point. I think who Sam Darnold was is just a part of the story that leads us to who he is today. And I just no longer care about the couple of bad games that we've seen with the Vikings, the couple of bad games that we've seen with the Seahawks. I don't care because to me, those bad games are pocketed in different periods of time. Right now, Drake May is not playing good football. And I will credit Jeff Saturday, who did one of the smartest breakdowns I've ever seen of the offensive line issues that the New England Patriots are having right now. And it's not just guys getting beat, it's massive communication issues. And that has the entire clock for Drake May sped up. When his clock is sped up to this level, he's not comfortable. When he's not comfortable, I don't think he's going to be the guy we can rely on. I think Drake May makes mistakes that lose the Patriots opportunities. And I'm not going to give you our picks yet. You got to wait for our picks.
And if CJ Stroud wasn't playing like a double agent in that game against the Patriots probably lose that game. I mean, like Drake May was loosey-goosey with the football. The Patriots made their fair share of mistakes in that game as well. They just happened to be the beneficiaries of 4 picks.
Oh, yeah, CJ Stroud should have been the MVP of that game, right? Like, congratulations. Thank you, CJ Stroud. What about weapons? All right, let's take a look at the weapons in this one. Is this even close? I mean, when I say Jackson Smith-Njigba, like, it's like...
It's JSN. Yeah. I mean, I think JSN is going to be the best player on the field between both of these two teams, period, in the Super Bowl. I mean, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Offensive Player of the Year. He was awarded last night. Very, very much so deserved. Jackson Smith-Njigba is one of the best, and you could say right now, is playing like the best wide receiver in the entire National Football League. I see you, Travion Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson, Stephon Diggs. All of those guys have been incredibly reliable and good pieces for this Patriots team, but none as important and as impactful as Jackson Smith-Njigba and Kenneth Walker as well running the football.
I mean, you say, I'm going full John Cena. Like, I don't see any of those Patriots guys even in the same
They don't
league.
exist.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. But this is really about, you mentioned JSN. I'll stick with JSN. I'll also add that Rashid Shaheed has absolutely created opportunities for JSN in the way he clears out the field. And then again, Kenneth Walker III, who I think sneaky. Shaheed and Kenneth Walker III are sneaky plays to me to be an MVP in this game because there's going to be so much attention played to Jackson Smith-Njigba. Like, we'll give you our picks later on MVP. I'm curious to see what the Patriots' defensive mindset is going to be. Because if you apply all of your resources to slowing down JSN, that's probably what makes sense. I'm not sure you can. And if you do, then can they beat you other ways? So I think the Seahawks can, the choose your own adventure on weapons gives you many more opportunities to win that way. Let's also get the defense. Like we were just talking about the defense. Yeah. There are some stars on the defensive side on both sides of the ball. Who do you give the defensive advantage to?
This is a matchup of if you loved football in like the 60s, you're like, yes. If you're an AFC North fan, you're like, yes, run the ball and play great defense. But I think the advantage is Seattle. I understand that I just said this is a what have you done for me lately league, and Drake May hasn't been playing very well, and Sam Darnold has. Well, Seattle's defense got kind of carved up by the Rams. Like that was an offensive shootout in the NFC Championship game, whereas the Patriots have been stifling defensively. But I also have to peel back the layers on that a little bit and say, okay, well, you were playing a backup quarterback in Jarrett Stidham in the snow. Was that so much the defense, or was that you're opportunistic? You know, CJ Stroud throws 4 interceptions in that game against the Texans. Now, the Patriots defense does get credit for that, for forcing those turnovers, but also CJ Stroud is at fault for some of those as well. Getting after Justin Herbert, eliminating the run against the Chargers in the wild card round of the postseason. Well, I think that's more so because the Chargers offensive line is decimated more than it is the Patriots defense. This Patriots defense has been outstanding all postseason long. I want to acknowledge that. I'm not saying it hasn't been, but I trust the Seahawks defense more. I think it is a better coached unit, and I think they've been consistently better throughout the entirety of the season.
I think this is probably the most even of all the ones that we've talked about so far categorically. Like, if Robert Spillane is able to come in and play effectively throughout the course of the defense, the game, that helps the Patriots defense. Christian Gonzalez is just a star. And the opportunity to see Gonzalez take on JSN in some level, this is really exciting. I'm concerned, Nicky Memorial, all indications are that Nick is going to be just fine. I continue to say I feel like I'm auditioning for the Weather Channel. The high is going to be 58. The low is going to be 51. 10% chance of precipitation. I don't think that there's going to be a real weather issue on the field, but I do worry about that ankle as much as they tape it up. I worry about that ankle at the start of the second half, too. A reminder to everybody, halftime much longer. So teams sort of have to figure out how to get everybody acclimated to that. So there are concerns, but that scheme for the Seahawks is what really sends them to the next level. I think that Mike Macdonald is the best schemer in the game right now with the fastest defense. They're playing a 4-2-5 that's going to be really difficult for Drake May, I think, to decipher what's coming at him. When you piece all of those things together, I end up with the defensive advantage for Seattle. And I think that speaks to, while, defenses don't take on defenses, I think one of the most interesting things in this is Seattle's defense versus a Patriots offensive line that is struggling right now. That's the thing. Like, even if we believe that these defenses are basically equal, I trust Seattle's offensive line, which isn't particularly great, even more than I trust the Patriots' offensive line to be able to throttle back some of that pass rush.
You've got a rookie left tackle in Will Campbell who has looked like a rookie seeing his first playoff football over the last couple of games. It's a big reason why Drake May has kind of been loosey-goosey with the footballs, because he's got pressure swarming. So, and that's a good point about Nick Emmanwori as well. All reports, all accounts looks that he's going to be good to go, that he will be playing. It is a lower ankle injury, which is a relief far more than a high ankle injury for Nick Emmanwori. But even though he will be out there, how effective will he be? If you're getting 95% of Nick Emmanwori, all good. Like, you would take that any day of the week. But is a 60% Nick Emmanwori enough for that Seahawks defense to be as effective as they've been?